What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? It's your boy Rare One here today again on this joint. I am cooking something else and it is smelling people skills. Yep. People skills. That's the flavor today, guys. Let's digest this. By the way, subscribe, like, share. Comment below. I want to know your thoughts after you've seen this video. And select all option on the notification bell so you know when I post. I want to get to 100 subscribers by the end of July. Guys, let's go get it. Thank you for helping me do that though. I couldn't do it without you guys. And I need you guys. I need you. I know we can do this, right? Go subscribe and follow my Instagram and TikTok accounts as well. And if you have anything you wish to reach out to me for, drop me an email at the Proton Mail down there. Right, thank you. So diving straight to the cooking for today. People skills. How do you interpret people skills? What type of persons are you? Do you interact with people? Are you open to people? What's been your experience with people at places of work, at home, in your family, etc.? What's it been like? I asked that question because a lot of people in this day and age think that they can do it all by themselves. If they've done it and made it, they have done it all by themselves. They are self-made millionaires and billionaires and yada yada yada, etc. And in the voice of Al Pacino, you need people. Yep.
You need people like me.
You need people. Jeff Bezos does not dispatch goods from Amazon factories. The vision was his. He's overseeing the entire thing. But today, he doesn't work in the UK factories or in the Ukrainian factories or in the US factories. He name it. All the Amazon shops, he's not there. People work there. Those people working there are not Jeff Bezos, but they need something from his pocket. Not necessarily his pocket, but they need finances to fund their lives. So they are there, and therefore they're getting what they need. He's getting what he needs from them. They're working collaboratively together. That's people working effectively, efficiently together, collaboratively. In your family, people spend time together, dine with each other, socialize, interact, fight, quarrel, make up, kisses, and all of that. Whatever you do yourselves. But it's part of life because we're social creatures. We interact with each other. It helps us heal. It mends us. People skills is very, very good. It's a very essential skill. People help you catch a reflection of yourself. They shine lights on areas of your weaknesses and strengths, even though you might know them, but they can help you see it differently, perceive them differently. They can help you interpret them differently. People can give you feedbacks, constructive criticisms, and help you enhance, grow, and develop yourself to become better, the best and better version of yourself. As we are students of life, we continually grow and learn and have to keep ourselves open to new information, to change, and to knowledge, and anything that adds value to us. And one of those things comes as a result of having people skills, because you will interact with people, you will deal with people, you will run into people, you're gonna fight with people, disagree with people, you will achieve and conquer with people, you will succeed and excel with people. And even though you have multiple talents, I don't care how great and bright you are, there is only so far as your talent and gifts can take you and your skills can take you. But there are doors they wouldn't even dare knock or approach, because it takes people to walk through those doors, to open those doors, to give you access to what's behind those doors, what's inside of such spaces. People, network, human interaction, socializing with each other. We need people. It comes from the understanding of people. And you cannot know people if you don't interact with people, right? You can't. You'd have to relate with people. People who will present you all sorts of challenges. People who might come across in how the woke ones put it these days, that they are toxic. The toxic ones, you would meet them. You'd meet the loving and caring, lovey-dovey ones, the ones who do not want to offend anybody, who wants to be loved by all. You meet all sorts of people, all kinds of people from diverse backgrounds, and you would realize that people interpret things differently. As the saying goes, communication is the act of communication is a miracle of interpretation. You'd find that these people interpret things differently. They see life differently. They have different views, opinions, and perspective of things, and from so doing, you add to your know-how. You know how to deal with this caliber of people of different characters. You would know that, and should you meet them in the near future in any environment or space, you would know how best to work with them and will not be found wanting. people skills. People skills. Those of you who think that needing people, working with people, collaborating with people, admitting that you need people is an act of weakness. Voila, you just announced to us that you are weak, because it takes strength to admit that. And it's also an act, something that shows that you have a growth mindset, meaning you're open to change, you're open to new information, you're open to something or things and people that adds value to you. You're an efficient person rather than somebody who's thinking, yeah, I'm going to prove a point to the world and show them that I can do it all by myself. When you cannot, practically it's proven you can't. You cannot do everything by yourself. But in turn, you're just telling us that you have fixed mindset and you're just stuck in a corner. You're such a little wimp who just couldn't admit it to yourself. You had to announce it to the whole world and tell us that you do it all by yourself, or you did it all by yourself. And to you, pronouncing such things is an act of self-love when it in fact means that you're self-loathing. You don't like you. You don't love you. You despise you. You detest you. You're not a fan of you. Because if you knew that, you would know not to do such things. Understanding that you need people helps you address one of the biggest problems the world has today: loneliness. Loneliness is one of the biggest drivers of physical and mental health problems. Depression, anxiety. A lot of old people are dying of isolation in the Western world. If you don't know, I know about the UK. They have charities that run befriending services. What do? They visit old people, spend some time with them, interact with them. Something that we are human beings, we need it. No amount of money that you made in life can afford that for you. If you don't have people skills, even at old age, you'll be ridiculously stupid and ignorant to disrespect and disregard and act a fool around people that you kick them all away. So it's not something money can buy you. And when I say people, I don't mean having bodies standing near you. I mean having the ability to interact, to mingle, to relate, to collaborate, to communicate, to work with people for good purposes, to achieve things. You'd have to be interested in people and have the skills to maneuver, to navigate. And those who do not have people suffer daily. They suffer daily. Human beings are social creatures, and we came from one source, God. I want to know what you guys think. I want to know at what point you are in your life as regards this people skill subject. Are you somebody who's open to people or not? My father always said, no matter what people say to you, in anger or in moments of peace, they're advising you. They're showing you the love they probably do not know that they have for you. But you'd have to be deep to understand that. And I say this because while I mention and highlight the need for people and people skills in one's life, majority of you are extremely selective to the point that you corner yourself, you back yourself into places of loneliness, of isolation, right? Thinking that you don't want toxic people. You know, you want the people that would hold hands and suggest, shall we go to the garden? Shall we promenade, my lord? The people, those likes. That's what you're looking for. People who would finish your sentences. Those people have their use, but they are not all that you need. When you understand the need for people in your life, you know that means everything. I call this cooking because when you make a meal, you put a lot of ingredients in that meal for it to be a meal. Separate from each other, they are just individual condiments. You take or consume any of them, they might cause you to purge, but you put it together, it helps make a meal, a delicious meal. Being open to people means understanding that those people will come in shapes, sizes and forms and manner of all sorts of things. You'd have to remove yourself from the robotic state and mindset that goes with the sheep flow, the sheep interpretation of things, where what people do not actually accept you find unacceptable. Go into the state where you dissect things. Therefore, when you meet people, you look at them as who they are, try and understand them. Try and understand and reason the forms of communication and relationship that you have with them. You know, tear those things like pieces them to look at them, right, and understand them. So The persons you would have considered toxic, if you did that with them, you would know that as much as they're saying something to hurt you, you would question you and the statement to see if there's any truth in that, because if there is, you would exploit the opportunity to better yourself. But if there isn't, throw it past you and move on. What have you got to lose? But thou non-toxic people, selective ones, you think you're so woke, you just run off on the mantra and think it adds value to you. No, it doesn't. It sells you short. You actually leave yourself cornered, and you miss out on the opportunity that such persons present. If you haven't had it, majority of the time they are the ones that love you the most, the toxic ones. But I'm not just gonna stick there. The point I'm trying to make is that you need people, and people come in different ways and forms and from diverse backgrounds. So it means that they would have different characters. If you try, it's not working, try again. If it's not working, if you meet the persons you think you do not actually get on with, redefine your friendship or your relationship with them, whether it's at work or outside of work, it doesn't matter. In any capacity, redefine your relationship with them, right? When I was young, of course I didn't know it was, developing people skills and stuff, but I always had this mind that I never wanted to completely cut off certain friends, and I wouldn't hold on to them for too long as if my life depended on them, but I would just keep touch now and again. I like to touch base. I was that guy that, in secondary, I would see my primary school or kindergarten friends and remember them and say hello, and then, find out what they're doing, catch up with them. But if opportunity doesn't present itself that we see regularly, I would at least know about them, catch up with them. And some days where there's use or need, I would know where to access such persons. Do you see what I'm saying? As well as make myself available for them to access me. Something for a different video. People being users. Such a very great thing. Trust me, it's good for you. But you need to know how to be a user and how to reciprocate. Something for another video. If you're getting triggered, that's your business. I don't care. So carrying on, right? I would do such things. And as I grew, I started to understand what I'm now telling you about the people skills thing. And I knew it takes a lot. For me personally, it takes a lot. I cut people off. I have done it completely off. But it takes a lot for me to do that. Before I get to that point, oh my goodness, you've done certain things. You've done, or things would have gone bad. I wouldn't say you've done certain things, because maybe sometimes I've done it wrong. But one thing I've learned in the journey, in the process of knowing and exercising all these things, right, is that it's helped me build the character of this man today, this guy, a rare one today. It's helped me build myself, right? And I have learned one key thing in that journey, that where somebody ceases to be of use to you, or somebody ceases to be as important to you, or where somebody seems to be a bit out of character from the person that you initially met, it's not often because they've become different or they've changed or they're no longer useful. It just means that maybe there's been some shift in circumstances or phases of life for one or both of you, and as such it requires that you adjust yourself. You can only do that from a growth mindset where you are open to change, you're flexible, you just adapt to situations. The key driver being any opportunity, right, to learn to be better. Any chance that you have to exploit opportunities around you as opposed to just throwing them away. So I redefine the relationship I have with them. The dynamics of our relationship. We saw so often and we don't have time to see each other again. It's fine, we're not enemies. I just find ways to catch up with them. I find time to do that, and sometimes maybe opportunity might not present itself, and you would find that over a period of time, like years apart, you haven't seen each other, you haven't done your usual traditions, but that's okay. You find ways to keep tabs and maintain such things. I make it a business to do that, and I have benefited from what I'm telling you. I have benefited from people I've met at work, people I've met in different places. I've been in positions, they have helped me. And I in turn have made myself available to them, and I've been of use to them too. You need people. You need people, guys. You need people. People skills is a very, very good thing. And remember, in the words of Benjamin Barber, I do not separate the world by successes or failure, but by learners and non-learners. The learners, open-minded, growth mindset, open to change, open to new information, willing to grow, develop and enhance themselves. And non-learners, people of fixed mindset, who want to prove a point to the world by showing us that they're so insecure and little and have low self-esteem, and the problem is within them as opposed to the rest of the world. Efficient people know how to utilize the resources within their reach, because there's no point spending your energy when you could conserve some of it and collaborate with someone else. You position yourself for some of the opportunities that might come by. You never know. I love you guys. Stay rare.